Joe, talk to me about this this morning workout you're doing, PE with Joe. How did the idea come about, and did you ever expect it to be this unbelievably popular?
I've been completely blown away by what's been going on the last few days. It was only Wednesday last week I had the idea. I texted my brother at 12:15 a.m. I said, Nicky, I've got an idea. Let's do a PE session live every day, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. on YouTube. I stuck it up there, started sharing it, didn't have any idea what was going to happen, but it's really gone global. Every single school in the UK knows about it. Every media outlet's talked to me about it, and it's been wonderful because I'm doing something that's going to help parents have a little break and help kids get moving. And also I'm seeing families exercising together. So I'm really uniting people at a time when they need it the most. They need to be energized. They need to be optimistic, and exercise is an amazing way of doing that.
When you said, I'm going to be the nation's PE teacher, bold claim, but that's what's happened, isn't it?
Well, what you need to understand about that journey is it may look like I've just come out of nowhere and it's just this overnight success, but I've been doing this for 3.5, 4 years. I did my first live Facebook, I streamed it on Facebook. So I did a Facebook live one, then I did a YouTube week of workouts just for schools. And I might have had 1,000 schools take part. Then I've done a UK tour. I visited 15 schools all around the country. And I was supposed to be on another UK tour this week. So because it got cancelled and the school shut down, I didn't want to let everyone down. I thought, how can I reach more people? But it's been phenomenal. Like, this is not just a national PE teacher. I know this seems a bit over the top and a bit extreme, but this is a world PE lesson. Like, there's countries, Jamaica, India, Uruguay, Australia, New Zealand, Scandinavia. There's just so many countries that are taking part in this because they want to see their kids exercising, and I'm taking that role on and helping people get through it.
You seem like completely in your element with this. Does that make sense?
Even before this just kicked off, before this was all happening with this explosion on social media, I've been doing this for a few months, and I've been really feeling like, yeah, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and that is connecting and inspiring. And I'm still very much engaged in my social media. I still do DMs and voice notes. But yeah, for me, being at home in my living room, knowing there's millions of people exercising, especially young people, it's given me such a buzz. And the messages I'm sharing, all the DMs I'm getting, it gives me the energy to keep going. And so people are saying, take some time out, don't burn out. But the truth is, I love it. This is what's given me energy.
Love that. You've had your best-selling books. We've seen you on social media. Could you just talk to us a little bit about your journey to where you are now?
So at the start of the year, it's been 8 years since I started as the body coach. So I shared a video on my Instagram, the 8-year overnight success story, because I really, like any other trainer, I've got my qualification. I did the personal training route. I was trying to find clients. I was running boot camps and flying at the station because no one was turning up. And I've always had this belief and this voice in my head just saying, just keep going, keep turning up, keep reaching people. It will grow. And that happened with my boot camps. The same thing. I applied the same mentality to my Instagram, and no one's watching. No one cares right now. But keep adding value. Keep putting out good recipes and funny videos and good workouts, and grew. And the same thing with the schools thing. Honestly, I tried so hard to get a TV show with Channel 4. I tried to get media to talk about it. No one really wanted to talk about it. It's taken a pandemic for people to be locked in, for them to say, what this guy is doing is actually really wonderful. And now I've been on the phone every minute of the day since Monday morning, since I launched it. So now it just feels great that now people are actually enjoying it, and they're sharing it, and they know the benefits of exercise. And my aim of this, my ambition and aim when this is all over, is that I change the culture of fitness within a household. I want mums and dads to get up together and train with the kids, exercise, have fun together, and connect through fitness. And that, it won't happen to every family, let's be realistic, but the ones that really buy into it and love it, they will miss it and they will keep going for the rest of the year.
And what struck me earlier from watching your class this morning was you're getting people of all ages, all around the world. It's not just it's PE, as you said, but you're getting people in their 70s, their 80s taking part as well. You must get a huge buzz out of that.
It's phenomenal, and I don't know how it's happened, but I just didn't want to neglect the older, elderly, senior people. So a lot of people saying, "Oh, my mum's at home, my grandma's at home. Can you do that?" I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I sat down, I had a little plan, and I came up with 2 very basic 10-minute workouts. So things like arm circles, like marching on the spot, just gentle kind of movements like this for people with less mobility and strength. And 150,000 people have done it in 3 days. So there's an appetite for it. And like I said, I'm trying to engage everybody. I don't mind if you're 5 years old, 55 years old, or whatever. As long as you want to get moving, I can do that for you. I can get you feeling good.
Do you feel like this has almost become, you spoke just then about the schools and the work you've done in the past. Do you feel like it's almost like your duty now to kind of keep this going, almost like a responsibility? Does that make sense?
Yeah, in a positive way though. I actually said, you know, this was an idea. I just thought, let's just see how it goes. But I've committed to doing this until the schools are open and there's PE teachers and there's, you know, activity going on and they're back in their normal routine. I'll be here. I'll be doing this Monday to Friday without fail, 9 a.m. The only thing that will stop me is if the Wi-Fi, the internet goes down, and because we crash the internet. But I will be there, and it's not so much a duty. It's more like when you have this potential to help, it's just there. Like, I just can't stop. I can't slow down now. And so this really is me and my element. Like you said, I'm doing what I love, and the funny story is I actually went to university to be a PE teacher. That was always my goal. That was the biggest ambition I had, was to be a PE teacher. And now I've come full circle 15, 20 years later, and I'm now, you know, PE teacher for like millions of people around the world.
Have you found that your perspective on this thing of keeping kids fit and everything, has that changed at all since you became a dad? Has that had an influence on you?
It's definitely helped me, understand how important role modeling is. So when I was a kid, my mum and dad weren't into exercise. I wasn't really encouraged to, but I was very active. I did a lot of sport. I loved it. It's always been a part of my life and my kind of personality to do sport and things. But I realised that Indy learns from everything I do. She learns when I sit down and eat porridge and she watches me with a spoon. She learns that. She learns how I squat. She learns, you know, she watches me running on the spot and she sees me smiling and laughing after. And so she's constantly learning and feeding back from that. So it is important. I really do. I am passionate about getting parents and kids, you know, working out together. I think it's so important. And I've seen that. I'm seeing like toddlers having a go. I'm seeing their mums, grandmas. There's so many people I've reached. I mean, when you think about it, so on day one, there was, I think it was 806,000 people tuned in. On the second day, it was 954,000 households. So this isn't individual people. Like, you imagine there's 3 or 4 people per household. We are talking tens of millions of people. And that's amazing. And I know I've made an impact. And so I don't think, after this is done, I don't think I'll ever do anything with more meaning and impact that I am now. Does it get overwhelming at all? If I sit and stop and think, like when I started to announce it, I did a story on my Instagram where I was kind of summarising that what I was about to do and how I've worked so hard in the past few years. And like, when you're doing something and no one's really paying attention, it's very easy to get disheartened. But I carried on. I was pursuing it. All the trips I did around the UK were self-funded. I'd fly to Ireland. I'd fly to Northern Ireland, and I'd be in Scotland, rent a car, and I'd drive all over the country. Like, all of that was off my own back. And now I'm doing it on a massive scale. I just want people to know that it didn't just happen overnight. This isn't just luck. This isn't luck. It isn't good timing. Like, it's just me. I've built this opportunity because I've got trust, and people trust me that when I go live with their 4 or 5-year-old kids, that I'm going to deliver an amazing session that's going to be fun and deliver a good workout for them and keep it in a safe, calm environment. So it's taken a lot of time. So when I started to see the traction, I was feeling very emotional. I felt overwhelmed. I felt this amazing sense of like pride and joy and excitement to start. But now it's settled in, I'm kind of just enjoying it. I'm being a bit sillier. I'm more relaxed on camera. I'm having fun. We're doing like Spider-Man, all sorts of silly stuff. So I'm in my element, and I'm over the moon that it's been so well received. And like I said, there's been about 11 views, post views. You can take 2 or 3, 4 people in some houses. It's millions, and that's mind-boggling for me. That is like a little bit overwhelming to think of it like that.
Do you ever get nervous before you go live?
The first, because I was like emotional nerves, like when you're really proud, you can feel it coming up, sort of thing. Like, but I was just sort of right. I sort of psyched myself out. I was like, right, come on, Joe, and I just jumped into the camera and I got into it, and I sort of slipped into the kind of trainer mode, and then I was all right. And
where did you come up with the Pikachu idea from?
Well, I was just thinking of like little funny kind of things. So the first one I had was kangaroo hop. So I put like your little Joey in your pouch, and you've got to bounce, keep your little Joey safe. Then I had bunny hops, which again, I can just see millions of mums and dads laughing and giggling and being silly when they're doing this. So that's a good one. Then I had the spider web lunges. I don't know if you can see it. I was like doing. So like we've got a spider web coming out of our wrist. They love that one. And then today the Pikachu basically come down into a nice little tight ball like that on the ground, and you just explode up like a Pikachu. And I can imagine people were laughing and going, "What a plonker!" But they probably got involved anyway and had a good time with it.
Do your family get involved as well off camera?
So my little daughter Indy, actually, she sort of gate crashed the party today. But my mum's doing it every morning. My dad's probably watching from the sofa eating a bar of chocolate. My little brother's watching, and my brother Nicky actually, so he's in my ear. he's my best mate, and we work together. So he rings me, and I have his earpiece because the comments are just flying through. So Nicky will he'll do shout outs. So we say like, hello to Sandra in Sydney, or Michael over in like America somewhere. And so I've got him in my ear. It's like so nice to be doing it with him. He's experienced it in real time, and we're working together to like give as many shout outs as we can.
Has anything surprised you at all?
Well, the sheer scale of it, yeah. I mean, I'm speaking to, like Australian media, the US. It's being shared by schools, like even like schools as far as New Zealand and Australia are putting on their newsletter saying Joe Wicks, the body coach from the UK. Someone's had to watch a video and go, is this guy legit? Can I share this guy's content with my school? And they are, because I've been, like I said, I've built my brand over 8 years. I've never sworn, I've never been rude, I've never been disrespectful. I'm always polite to people. Like, I'm always positive, and that's why I'm in this position right now,
Love that. And you've got Wayne Rooney's kids, I think, were joining in the other day. Have you had any others?
He's got about 4 boys, I think. Yeah. Wayne Rooney's kids took part, and then Rio Ferdinand was at it this morning with his kids. So, yeah, a lot of people, but again, it's not just a celebrity thing. That's so nice to see, but it's about the real families as well, all over the world taking part. Any
sort of tales in particular that from around the world that have really stuck out to you, bits of Instagram messages, whatever, that's really kind of hit home?
Well, one when I got there, there was a kid in Jamaica doing it. I just was blown away. I was like, imagine that, like a little island in the Caribbean, like Jamaica, probably doing it on the beach. But I just loved it. And then I got another message from a mum that said, her little child is autistic and really struggles with like the breaking up of routine, and they've been having a struggle and being found really difficult. But when they turned on that workout and started doing the exercises, their face was lit up, and she said, "Thank you for giving me that half an hour of fun with my kids." So loads of that coming in. There's been children that are in kind of wheelchairs and slightly disabled with certain issues, and they're all giving it a go. And it's like, it's emotional. If you stop and truly like take it in and listen, it's just millions of people saying thank you, and that's powerful. That is what motivates me. That really is what gets me up, and I love it. I'm so proud of it.
How do you keep the plans fresh and the schedules fresh? Is it something you spend ages thinking about, or is it a lot of it like the Spider-Man or the Pikachu? Is it quite instinctive?
I came out the Pikachu last night. Someone sent me a link to it, and I saw it, and I thought that's a great one. I just gave it a different name, but yeah, I'm planning them the night before, so it's not like I'm not structuring it for weeks and weeks on end. I'm kind of planning it and trying to keep it fresh, and then obviously mixing up the rest periods and the work, and trying to keep it kind of fresh each day. But I just love it. I like that they're getting to know me. I like that I'm building community, and this is a time when we're so disconnected, but we can actually enjoy this moment and be together with our family and be fit and come together through that moment of exercise and fitness.
When you came up with the idea of this specifically, you said you kind of texted your brother. Did you just immediately feel like this is going to be a success?
Honestly, I mean, it's like when you release a book, you just never know how it's going to do. Then you think, is it going to be adored? Are they going to love it? Is it going to flop? I knew that people would get involved. I knew that schools would share, because we've got a massive database. So when I do the schools tours, we get about 25,000 applications. So we knew we had this database. So that was the main target. I said, look, let's send an email, tell them we're doing it. Then from there, it went into newsletters and family Facebook groups and different kind of WhatsApp threads. But I had no idea that I didn't even consider the fact that the media, like the public media and the kind of newspapers and TV would pick it up. It wasn't. I just don't ever. I think digital. I always think digital. So I'm like, community, my Facebook group, my Instagram, family and friends, and that was all. That was as far as my head was thinking. So to see all these outlets, I mean, I've been on the phone to Reuters and Press Association and all these other people that seed out the stories. End up anywhere. You just don't know where the story's going to end up.
So much of this is in the public eye. Your whole business is focused around kind of letting people into your house, letting people get to know you and the rest of it. How do you maintain your private life off the back of it? Or is that quite hard?
Well, I'm actually quite private. I mean, I obviously share, I love sharing things with my little daughter and my wife, and there's certain things I share, but I don't do OK and Hello magazine interviews where people come to the house. It's more like, this is my life, this is what I'm living, and I share, trying to share positive stuff. So whether it's a healthy recipe for your kids or a workout for your family, but I do disconnect. I can be very embedded and ingrained in social media. I can also put my phone down, have dinner, go on a little weekend break, leave my phone. I can be completely absorbed in my family. So I'm not like 24/7, 365. I do have down periods throughout the year.
And have you thought about, I mean, hopefully, this doesn't last much longer. there's obviously a fear that we'll do the pandemic and how long we're spending in sort of isolation or social distancing. Have you thought about what the plan is afterwards?
In terms of this, I like to think that I can continue some level of support, whether it's, you know, a couple of sessions a week or some pre-recorded content, because I have done that. I've got a lot of workouts on the channel. The YouTube TV, it's called the Body Coach TV is my YouTube channel. There's 5 Alive, so they're 5-minute workouts designed for kids. There's Active 8-minute movements for kids. So there's content there. I'd love to just generate more of that so that teachers at any point or parents can just tap into that as a resource to get their kids moving. But also the dream is that a kid comes home from school and says, Mum, I'm just going upstairs to do a quick Body Coach workout. That would bring tears to my eyes. That would be the most powerful thing I could have achieved, because if I can take a kid who doesn't like exercise and make him and get him to enjoy it, or him or her, that would be the ultimate achievement for me.
What's your is that sort of your overall motivation in life?
My overall motivation is to help people feel healthier and happier, and that's my driving force. Whether it's sharing a recipe to get you to cook something that's going to make you feel energized, or do a workout that's going to make you feel good, or you know, a story that might motivate you and get you feeling positive. That's all I think about. I mean, I'm not driven by anything, you know, I'm not driven by financial gain. I'm not driven by celebrity or fame. I'm just driven by, I love helping people. And even if no one says to me, thank you, Joe, I know it's helping and I know it's working. So maybe like 10% of people message me and say, thanks for what you're doing. But there's another 90% of people that are still doing it. And for me, that's enough. I don't need the validation as such. You know what I mean? So I'll keep going with this. I'll keep it up. And until I'm out of shape and unfit and no one wants to watch my videos, I'll keep doing them.
Love that. And you're in Richmond. I was reading about you earlier and how you used to cycle from Surbiton to Richmond to hand up flyers and the rest of it. You talked earlier about this all coming full circle. There must be a bit of significance, personal significance and pride in that for you as well.
Yeah, I've gone through the emotions of like the whole connection with Richmond, because I lived in Surbiton with my dad. I was 25, I think, when I was living with my dad, and I borrowed a couple of grand, got my personal training qualification, and the reason I set up a boot camp in Richmond is because I dreamed of one day living there. I just thought it's a lovely town. It's only like half an hour from my dad, but it's an expensive place to live. And I thought, if I can build my business there, then one day I can rent a flat or get a little place there. And within a few years of obviously releasing my books and everything and setting up the office in Richmond, I was living in Richmond. And so it's amazing. It's that vision. It's the long-term vision of believing in yourself and working towards your goal. And I believe in hard work. I believe in self-belief. And if you do have that, you can achieve what you want. You know, you really can. But yeah, to be doing this, like, I suppose, so the boot camp was Old Deer Park. And I'd get there in the morning. You'd have 2 people, sometimes like 10 at the very max. But a lot of the times, nobody would turn up. And now, you know, I'm probably about 800 meters from that park. And I've got tens of millions of people doing it through a camera lens. So it is, if you think of it like that, it's mad. It's mad. It really is.
Those who are struggling with depression, anxiety, the rest, it's an extremely hard time for them as well with social distancing and isolation. This must be helping, or you must be hoping this is helping the mental health side of things as well for people. It
is a tough time for anyone, whether you suffer from depression or anxiety, or even if you're just an average person who just suffers with, you know, low mood, and you find it, you're a warrior or you're anxious about things. Like it's this time now where you've got to start thinking about your mental health, and exercise is so powerful. It's the last thing you want to do. Like my dad, you know, he suffers a little bit with a seasonal depression and he really struggles. But I always just say, Dad, if you can get up and do something, go for a little walk, do a little jog, and it always lifts his mood. And I know that it is hard when you're in that state of emotion where you just think, I can't face exercise, is the last thing I want to do. But always turn to it as a tool, always use it to help lift your mood. I mean, it elevates your mood. It's scientifically proven to, you know, reduce depression and help with depression. So definitely try and tap into that and use. There's loads of amazing YouTubers doing great fitness content now.
If you could either, I guess, be PT to someone, or if you'd like someone's kids to be joining in a dream scenario, anyone?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. If I found out the Queen was doing my workouts, like, you know, my elderly and senior workouts, doing a few arm circles and watching it, I'd be like over the moon. That'd be it. That'd be my most amazing thing. So the Queen's done a workout, the Body Coach.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.